news tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari expresses appreciation to the National Assembly for supporting his administration. Christians urged to celebrate Christmas in moderation. Residents of Ijebu ode engage in last-minute preparation for Christmas. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news tonight, reaching you from the studio of NTA Ijebu ode. My name is Joel Bukbola. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed formal appreciation to the 9th National Assembly for keeping faith with the resolve by his administration to implement national budget within January to December cycle. This is when he engaged Senate President Ahmed Lawal, the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila at his official residence. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details of that report.
President Muhammadu Buhari had just returned from a tedious official engagement in Maiduguri, Borno State. This meeting with presiding officers of the National Assembly coming almost immediately after had to go on at his instance. The president wants to formally appreciate the lawmakers for passing the national budget once again in good time. The 2022 appropriations bill submitted by him to a joint session of the National Assembly on the 7th of October this year was passed in 6 weeks.
This is essentially the reason why he invited the Speaker and I to say that National Assembly, thank you very much for working with us, for making this budget 2022 passed in good time like we did for 2020 and 2021. And I want to assure Nigerians that the budget that we pass in the National Assembly, especially this one, is a budget that will consolidate the previous budget, especially for 2020 and 2021. And you recall that for 2020 budget, 100% of it was implemented. And that is because we have been able to produce the document in good time, and Mr. President assented to it as well, as quickly as possible. And this is because we believe that Nigerians deserve to have a better life, a better security, better economy. Today, across this country, in every part of Nigeria, there is one construction of infrastructure or the other. Today, in every part of Nigeria, MDS are engaged and involved in serious empowerment programs for people who are disadvantaged, those at the lowest level of socio-economic ladder. So I believe that the administration has been doing so well, and for us, the National Assembly, the 9th National Assembly, is to ensure that this does not stop, and that is because Mr. President has given that leadership. And so we are very happy that this partnership, this synergy between the 9th National Assembly and the executive arm of government has been producing very, very good results for our economy, for our stability, and for Nigeria to continue to prosper.
The Senate President expressed optimism that the budget, as passed by the National Assembly, will be assented to by the President next week. NTA News, however, sought to know whether President Buhari's decision to withhold assent to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill was a surprise to the lawmakers.
So the matter is not whether I'm surprised or not, but I want to say this, that at the end of the day, what will come out of all these processes will be to the benefit of our electoral processes. It will be an outcome that will ensure that INEC is able to monitor these processes properly, that our political parties are also able to be strong, that at the end of the day, Nigerians should have an electoral act amended to make the election of Nigerians into various offices very, very transparent, full of integrity.
Is it true that lawmakers have started collecting signatures to veto the president on this?
I'm not aware of any such things, at least not in my chambers. We're on break right now, but when we come back from our recess, there's still ample time. We will make a determination one way or the other. He stated copiously his reasons why he didn't think the contentious issue should be part of the electoral law. We will sit down, we will look at it, which way to go. the options are there. We will do what is right for the Nigerian people, and I made it very clear that we're not going to throw away the baby with the bathwater. A credible electoral process and law is what is required at this time. Nigerians want it, and Nigerians will get it.
The National Assembly is expected to take a formal decision on the bill on resumption of plenary in January next year. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The need for Christians to celebrate Christmas responsibly by observing all non-pharmaceutical protocols to mitigate further spread of COVID-19 has been re-emphasized on NTA's flagship current affairs program, With More in Nigeria. Guests on the program are unanimous that obedience to constituted authorities is central to the birth of Jesus Christ and Christian message and Christmas message. Lydia Sampson reports.
But at most celebrations, people let down their guard, catching fun. However, with COVID-19 reality, key players say it cannot be business as usual.
Because of the situation we have on ground, it's not a must you are going to, go in large number to see someone. But you place a call, Merry Christmas to you. I rejoice with you, Jesus is born today in Bethlehem, Judea.
Christmas also teaches obedience. If you submit yourself by observing social distance, look, if you submit yourself by being vaccinated, you are just simply doing one of the things that happen at Christmas.
The duty is always to remind people, if you don't fear this, protect the other. Because that is the essence of the Christian faith as well.
While reiterating the significance of the birth of Jesus Christ to the centrality of Christianity and God's love for mankind, the clergymen also called for peaceful coexistence among Nigerians irrespective of differences. For Dr. Abubakar Tafida, Secretary, FCT Health and Human Service Secretariat, the FCT is not relenting in sustaining awareness creation and access to vaccination to mitigate the spread of COVID-19.
As we go into this Yuletide period, please, as you spread love, don't spread the virus.
Dr. Tafida applauded the clergymen and called for sustainable awareness creation for those that are not vaccinated to get vaccinated. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
With barely few hours to Christmas celebration, preparation is in top gear as residents engage in last-minute shopping for the festivity. Correspondent Bumione report that residents bemoan the unprecedented hike in prices of commodities, especially poultry products. Her reports.
It is few hours to Christmas celebration and everyone is eager to purchase food items ahead of the celebration. But while the food items, especially poultry products, flooded the market, many residents are lamenting the hike in price.
Last week, the price we bought the rice is almost 25,000 naira now, and we come back to the market after a week after, we are buying it now 27,500. Even to take a chicken to home now is almost 8k, 7.5, a matured one. So if you cannot afford such money, definitely you look for another alternative.
In fact, I don't want to say it's unbearable, but we just have to manage, because the way people are increasing, maybe it's government or the sellers, but the way they are putting price now, in fact, it's unbearable.
At the makeshift stores for poultry products, the average price of layers is 3,000 naira, while there are other categories like broilers and cockerels, which is sold for 5,000 and 7,000 naira per one. Poultry product dealers blame the high cost of chicken on inflation that rocked poultry feeds and other unfavorable factors.
Currently, this one now we are selling for 3,000 naira 2.8. The rate of market, everything is extremely dull, and maybe based on the economic system of Nigeria. At last year, we sold this one 1.5, 2,000, but the weight of feed and every other things are very expensive. That is why we are selling at this price now.
Many of the prospective customers are just milling around the market, apparently confused with the inflation that is adversely affecting the prices of commodities. Some families may have no choice but to increase their budgets for Christmas celebrations.
What is going on in Nigeria right now is that everybody should just be prayerful. Everything should just come to normal, because the situation on ground now, some people cannot avoid it. So everybody's just managing, but with time, everything will come back to normal.
At the motor parks, there is a lull in intra and interstate travels, but the transport unions say there is no increment in transport fare as they are still carrying passengers the normal fare. The crowd at the ATM points are minimal as customers attempt to withdraw cash ahead of Christmas. In Ijebu ode, Bumi Oni, NTA News.
Muslim faithfuls have been enjoined to always offer prayers and atonement for their deceased parents and relatives rather than waste money on jamboree funeral arrangements, with the Missioner and Saudi Society of Nigeria Ijebu ode branch, Laji Kehinde Mustafa already in his khutbah described as un-Islamic. Here are the details of that report.
It is a common phenomenon for people to gather for merriment to celebrate the demise of their loved ones, not minding the situation the disease is. This narrative is what the Missioner and Saudi Society of Nigeria Ijebu ode branch, Alhaji Kehinde Mustafa Oredipe, wants Muslims to change and focus more on things that will add value and attract the mercy of Almighty Allah. Alhaji Oredipe decried a situation where children and family members run into debt just to bury their deceased parents. The situation even becomes more worrisome when such parents who were buried with such frivolous spending never experienced such a luxurious lifestyle when they were alive. The Imam urged children to immortalize their parents by spending on the propagation of Islam, empowerment for the needy, and educational advancements. The faithful share their thoughts on the khutbah as delivered by the missioner.
Today's sermon gave us a lot of messages and a lot of lessons as regard about our disease, that immediately our people died. One of the things that we have to look at is that we must not be extravagant. There are a lot of things we can do to ensure that we make life easy for ourselves without going into debt.
Imam that gave the khutbah talked about death as an inevitable journey that every human being that is on earth will pass through, and that if we know what will happen to us after death, we wouldn't have been celebrating our dead ones after they have passed on. That we should be conscious of what will happen to the dead ones in the grave and with their Lord. So if we have an assurance that our dead ones are over there enjoying themselves, then we can celebrate. But no one knows what will happen to them.
With what he's saying, so definitely we know that we have to cut what the bad habits that we are doing, so that we will receive the mercy of Almighty Allah.
Earlier, the missioner led the faithfuls in prayers and supplications to Almighty Allah. In Ijebu ode.
And that's the much we can take on the English news tonight. The Yoruba translation of the news comes up immediately after the break with Segun Adekoya. Thanks for staying with us and compliment of the season.